They're gone, Jerry. Sooner you come to terms with that, the better. Keep your heads in the game, people. I want you focused on... Oh, this is something else. Something to do with the dark.
You think it might be... corrupted?
I don't care what the Rangers think. We need more guns.
FBC Firebreak has been released 2 weeks ago, and it got an overwhelming from the majority of the internet, at least from what I have seen. I have seen its trailer pop up in my feed, and to be honest, I haven't paid much attention to it either. However, the fact that the game taking place in the oldest house from Control was interesting, but I had no plans of buying the game after it's released. I received a notification from my phone that my Xbox subscription was paid automatically, and then I realized I have an Xbox subscription. I opened it. FBC Firebreak was on the front page, so I thought, I bought the subscription, so why not do something with it? FBC Firebreak is a class-based horde shooter where you're dropped in a set map with the same objective, where the map layout or the things in the map changes meaning. Everyone can be different from each other. It's like Left 4 Dead or Dark Tide. There are 5 missions as of this moment and 3 classes, with them being the Fix Kit, the Jump Kit, and the Splash Kit. I really like these classes, and they definitely managed to make every class seem useful and fun. However, what makes this game special to me is the fact that there's so many brilliant little ideas in the game that makes this game stand out, such as with every checkpoint of the map, depending on your chosen difficulty, an object of power will spawn, and it will put a modifier on the game as long as it's not destroyed. For example, a snare drum, which will increase enemy speed by 200%, so they look like they have the super run cheat on GTA. However, nothing compares to my favorite, which is the red light, where it roams around, and whenever it changes light from green to red, you have to stop exactly where you are, because every subsequent step you take will result in your death. To me, these items add so much diversity to the maps, as killing them will give you samples too, samples that you can use to upgrade your character, and to kill them you need to find whatever the hell this gun is. You can find this gun in a gun workshop, which can spawn anywhere in the map, and this is where, again, your classes come in hand. There's 2 types of problems that you can encounter while playing. I mean, there's much more than 2, but you get what I mean. And those are mechanic and electrical problems. This is more like a Helldivers type of prompt where you have to press Q or E to fix a problem. And to do these by hand requires a bit of time, especially considering that you will have a whole army of Hess behind your back. Turning your back to them while trying to fix these will not be the best idea, as you will get jumped and you will die. However, the Fix Kit has a wrench where it can be used to hit the mechanical problems, which fixes them in 1 or 2 hits. Same with the Jump Kit, where the electric gun can be used to power up any generators. This also goes for Guns Workshop, as it requires a generator to emit light and work, or the glorious shower, requiring both kits to work. The shower is your main healing source throughout the game. It also cleanses. This is where the last class, the Splash Kit, shines, due to having an interaction with almost every status effect. Water is the first status effect. The shower's water and the Splash Kit's ult's water will heal you to the max as long as you're near it. It will also protect the player from fire. If the fire meter fills up fully, you will start burning until it runs out, and you will die because it is very powerful and it is very annoying. But the Splash Kit's water will save you, so have a good Splash Kit player behind you. There is also an electric status that can be dealt with the electric grenades or jump kits gun, which also can be paired with water to deal overcharge, which will instantly kill enemies, and they look goofy. There is also radiation present in the third level, which if it builds up, you get damaged over time until you wash yourself from radiation. However, I don't think this can be prevented with Splash Kit's water. I haven't tried, because I didn't find anyone to play Splash Kit with me in that level. These status effects drastically changes how the game is played due to having an extreme over-reliance on the players. Crisis kits are your aforementioned classes, but let's explain what they actually do. Every class consists of a first main class weapon, a primary weapon, a unique equipment charge, and an ultimate charge. Well, and a grenade of your choosing. The primary weapon and the grenade is not unique to the classes themselves. You can mix them up any way that you want to. What I like about these classes is they don't have a fixed playstyle, as with the first class, such as the Fix Kit, has a melee weapon to get up and close and personal with them. However, the class also has a sentry turret which you can hide behind and shoot from. Fix Kit also has the ultimate charge, which is basically the storm bow from the Eisendrache. Oh, and also the class can chart. The Jump Kit is my personal favorite, being an absolute powerhouse. So much of a powerhouse that I can't even contain it and I die to it every single time that I play. The Jump Kit's gun can stun enemies with its electrical charge and has the ability to yeet yourself in the air with the right click if you charge it hard enough. And also, he has a monkey bomb, basically, where you put a boombox on the ground and zap it to activate it. This will lure most enemies that are nearby or coming to you to attack you, and then detonate itself, or you can shoot it to detonate it. And your ultimate charge is the most suicidal thing that I have ever laid my hands on. You put a canister on the front of your gun and you fling a gnome and it evaporates everything in sight, including you. Every single time. I cannot even run away from my own ultimate charge. And the Splash Kit, arguably the best class in the entire game. Splash Kit's gun comes with the water version of that one gun from Deep Rock Galactic where you splashed acid everywhere. First, water can be used to put out fires on the ground or on your teammates if they're burning alive. It can be paired with electric grenades to inflict overcharged. It can be used to leave enemies vulnerable to one-shot them or even stagger them. However, its equipment is the most useful thing since the spoon. Yes, the spoon. This thing is literally a sprinkler on steroids. It heals any teammate within its reach and applies the wet status onto them. Just being close to this thing makes you wet. Think about that. And standing near it, you're basically... And what I love about it is that its ultimate charge is the exact opposite of what the class actually is. You put a teapot on top of your weapon to shoot gigantic lava balls. That's how brain dead I am going to explain that gun. Honestly love the kits of the weapons and the weapons of the kits and the weapons kits and the kits of weapons in this game. I had a stroke and I'm not going to edit that out. Now, to actually talk about what I like and what I don't about the game. The game's biggest positive for me is the fact that it has unique stuff when it comes to things that we have seen get copy-pasted a lot. Such as the classes, guns, etc, etc. It's the same stuff we have seen but done in a way that feels really, really fresh. However, I will bitch about the lack of primary weapons that are in the game. There is a total of 6 guns, which is criminally low for a game like this. There is long-range revolver and the bolt action for long-range options. Close range is sawed-off and the shotgun. And the automatic guns like the Lewis plate and whatever this amalgamation of a weird MP38 and Carl Gustav M45 SMG thingy. I have no idea what this gun is supposed to be in real life. I looked it up, I'm going crazy. I don't know if they're planning to add more, but they definitely should, as the gun variety feels really, really off. That can be one of my biggest gripes in this game. The content that it provides is incredibly short. There are 5 missions and 4 difficulties. That is not at all enough for a game with this vision to be a class-based horde shooter. For example, Left 4 Dead 2 was released with 5 campaigns, meaning which has between 3 to 5 missions inside of those campaigns. Not to add, Left 4 Dead 2 added additional campaigns and Left 4 Dead 1's campaigns into Left 4 Dead 2. Another example is World War Z, released with 7 episodes, which also had the same formula as Left 4 Dead. Other than that, these missions don't have incredible quest lines either, they mostly feel all around okay. And the difficulty options feel incredibly underwhelming, where me and my friends finished a mission on the last difficulty setting, and we were okay all the way through. Sure, it was harder than the previous options, but it definitely was not hard enough. Visually, these missions look very good. Objective-wise, they're okay for the most part, some are better than others, but quantity-wise, this game is lacking. Quality over quantity all day, but this just doesn't feel like it is enough. I believe the game has so much potential to be good with these classes, and the modifiers and the elemental types and so much more, but it's sandwiched between a lack of content which makes the game just feel underwhelming. There is so much to improve on here, and I think this game could be something really special if they give the time this game needs to make this game another Remedy classic. I want this game to improve and succeed because I love the style and the gameplay, and Control's world fits perfectly for a horde shooter in my mind. Now that I got the negative stuff out of the way, I want to talk about the small things that makes this game so cool. Hank and Jerry is your overseers throughout this game. Jerry is not that much present throughout the game, but I honestly love Hank. Hank will tell you most of the stuff that you need to do over the intercom, and honestly, he's very cool. He's a fun character to listen to. They have so many gags on getting new volunteers for Firebreak, and he constantly is stressing about how he's going to find more people. Even in the match, when you run out of lives, he will say, "I'm trying to find more volunteers, god damn it." He doesn't sound like that, but I just love the fact that they wrote his character and lore into the gameplay like this. Another thing I love that I didn't talk about yet is the skills that you can do incredible builds with. You can do support builds, melee builds, status effect builds, and to get the upgraded versions of these perks, you need to collect samples that you will either find laying around, or you need to kill the anomaly objects that are around the map. For their first try as a multiplayer game like this, I think they have an incredible template here. However, it needs a lot more work to make it perfect. For now, I think if you're a fan of Control's world, or if you don't have anything to play, this is a good option to look into, which, with the added bonus that it is an Xbox Game Pass, you can play it for free. For me, they need to add more missions and more guns, possibly even more class gun abilities. Because even though the skill builds have variety, having a way to change how your class plays would be really cool for this game. I give it a